despair. On one such war-torn world, a massive battle rages as the Imperial Guard holds the line against a terrifying Tyranid invasion. Tanks rumble across the scarred landscape, lost guns fire in unison, and the screams of soldiers echo as the Xenos swarm closer. This world, like so many others, seems destined for destruction, ruled by endless conflict. The people here are locked in a fight they cannot escape, with no hope of relief and no end in sight. But in the midst of all this carnage, something extraordinary happens. A rift in the fabric of reality splits the sky open, casting an unnatural light across the battlefield. The soldiers stop firing for a moment, the Tyranids freeze, and the distant stars blink out as if they, too, are watching what unfolds. Through this rift steps a being unlike anything anyone has ever, his eyes burning with the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes, his body large and powerful, brimming with a strange untamed energy. The Monkey King, Sun Wukong, has arrived. He strides forward, his golden staff resting casually on his shoulder, and with a single swing, the world trembles. He sweeps through the battlefield like a divine tempest, his presence a whirlwind of fury and grace. The Tyranids, which had once been an unstoppable force, are thrown into disarray by the sheer power of his will. His staff strikes the ground with the force of 100 thunderclaps, sending monsters flying and scattering their ranks. The Imperium soldiers, too stunned to react, stare in awe. They have never seen anything like him. A single figure, and yet he holds the power to reshape this battle with nothing more than his presence. As the dust settles and the roar of battle quiets, Sun Wukong surveys the field with a smirk. "Not bad for a place that calls itself a galaxy," he mutters, his voice booming like thunder across the ruined city. The Tyranids have been scattered, but they're not gone. They regroup, their hive mind rapidly adjusting to this new threat. The Imperium, too, begins to rally, their commanders barking orders into their voxcasters. But Wukong is already moving again, his staff crackling with energy. He leaps into the air, his form growing in size as he lands in the midst of a Tyranid Biotitan, cracking its carapace with a single blow. His laughter rings out, wild and free, as he dances around the beast with the agility of a god, flipping, twirling, and striking with all the power of a mythical warrior. To him, this is a game, a challenge, and he delights in every moment of it. But the warlords of the Imperium and the Chaos Gods are not pleased. The gods of chaos, sensing a new power in the galaxy, begin to whisper among themselves. Korn, the blood god, sees in Wukong a warrior unlike any other. Tsench, the changer of ways, sees the potential for chaos, for change, for an unpredictable force to disrupt the balance of power. Slaanesh, the dark prince, senses the wild joy and freedom that flows from him, a joy that could unravel their carefully laid plans. Nurgle, the lord of plague, finds an odd kinship with this strange being, sensing a power to undo even death itself. Back on the battlefield, as Wukong continues his rampage, he feels the first stirrings of the warp. It brushes against his mind like a whisper, but he brushes it aside with a flick of his tail. The Chaos Gods are trying to reach him, trying to manipulate him into becoming another pawn in their eternal game of war. But Wukong is no pawn. He has been a king, a trickster, and a god. He bows to no one. The Imperium's inquisitors, sensing the potential danger of this new being, issue orders for him to be brought to heel. They know the power he wields could either be their salvation or their doom. Inquisitor Malka, a hardened and ruthless servant of the Emperor, is tasked with finding and capturing him. Malka has seen many things in her years of service, but nothing quite like this. She will stop at nothing to control this creature, to either use him as a weapon for the Imperium or to purge him from existence. Wukong, however, is far from cooperative. He laughs in the face of the Inquisitor's attempts to capture him, using his staff to twist and warp reality itself. He evades their traps, outwits their psychers, and leaves them in his wake, all while causing more chaos than they ever could have imagined. He mocks the Imperium's dogmatic control, their blind obedience to a god they cannot even see, and their endless, pointless war. He does not care for their emperor or their Imperium. He only cares for his own freedom, and the adventure that awaits him. As Wukong continues to weave his path of chaos through the galaxy, he becomes both a symbol of hope and a symbol of terror. To the Imperium, he is an unpredictable force that could be their savior or their destroyer. To the Chaos Gods, he is an enigma, a being whose destiny cannot be foretold or controlled. And to the Xenos races, he is a myth come to life, a warrior whose strength is unmatched. In time, Wukong finds himself in the midst of an all-out war on a planet controlled by the forces of chaos. The Tyranids have arrived, and the Chaos forces are preparing to unleash their greatest weapons. It is here that Wukong will make his stand. With his golden staff, he strikes down the greatest of Chaos's generals, unraveling their plans with each blow. His laughter echoes across the battlefield, wild and untamed, as he shatters their armies, turning the tide of war in an instant. But as the dust settles and the battlefield quiets, Wukong realizes that he has no place in this galaxy. He does not belong here, not with the Imperium, not with the Chaos Gods, not with anyone. He has fought in countless wars, but none of them have ever felt like his own. He is not a soldier. He is a god of mischief and chaos, and his true home lies beyond the stars, beyond the galaxy.